of 555 or even 55, because I do look at numbers together. I'll talk about that a little bit more as we go deeper into this video. And I'll tell you some of the stories that I've experienced whenever I've seen a lot of 55s or 555s. One of the things I'm going to be doing differently in this video series from other videos, other angel number videos that you might see on YouTube, is I'm going to give you a bonus meaning that my angel specifically said to me about it, plus a bonus angel message for you at the end, like I said. Plus, I learned that whenever I would see these sequences, it would be important to acknowledge it. So that's why I'm giving you a custom pocket affirmation and a custom journaling prompt to use every time you see repeating 5s or 55s. And I do this for every single video in this angel number series. So if you missed any of my other videos, including my introductory video, Intro to Angel Numbers, even in that one, there is a bonus angel message, a bonus pocket affirmation, and a bonus journaling prompt compared to just a normal traditional video talking about the angel number. And the reason I'm doing that, like I said, is because I feel like it's important to acknowledge it, but it's also one of the biggest questions I get when I'm teaching angel communication classes or I'm doing one-on-one sessions with people is, okay, I notice it. I've seen 1111 everywhere. I've seen 555 every day. What do I do with that now? You know, even if you understand the meaning, it's like, what do I do with it? So that's why I'm giving you these journaling prompts as well. And you know, I'm always going to encourage you to write it down. Give your heart a voice by putting pen to paper. So just a quick recap for those of you who might be coming upon this video first out of this series about angel numbers. What are angel numbers? Angel numbers are repeated sequences of numbers that carry messages from the divine, from our spiritual team. Now, our spiritual team includes our guardian angels, archangels, passed away loved ones, spirit guides, and even ascended masters. We went into the ascended master reason for connecting with us in the 333 video, so I encourage you to check that out if you missed it. Now, these messages are meant to guide us on our path and help us understand our life's purpose. That's another question I commonly get from people in readings. What is my life purpose? What did I come here to do? Well, here's the thing. Spoiler alert. We all have multiple life purposes. We didn't come here for just one thing. We are spiritual beings having a physical human experience. And so we come here with many purposes. Some are to be a parent, some are to be a caretaker, some are to be a leader, but also to be something very creative. So all of us have these divine gifts. We all came here to empower ourselves to use our divine gifts, and our spiritual team will use angel numbers as a significant way to get through to us. Now, again, I encourage you to check out the videos that came before us, if you haven't already, especially Introduction to Angel Numbers, where I go into why the angels will often use numbers to connect with us. And it really is important to understand what they are communicating with you so that you don't miss out on opportunities. All right, so let's go into this significance of 555 when you see this number. Now, often it's meant to be a wake-up call to prepare for and embrace change. Now, some people hear wake-up call and they go, oh, well, that sounds kind of scary. But a lot of times we have been getting the message that, hey, it's time to shift things, and we're ignoring it. And this is the angel's subtle, gentle way of getting the message across to us, like, hey, you're missing an opportunity here, or you're not using your divine gifts to the fullest extent that you can. Maybe it's time to set some boundaries around your time, around your creative space. So we'll go a little bit more into that, but that is probably the most common reason for seeing 555 is it's a wake-up call. Now, again, I'm going to share with you some of the experiences I've had and the meaning the angels gave to me. And I do agree with a lot of these, but one of them is that, you know, whenever change happens, we cannot stop change. And when we try to resist change, that's when a lot of these messages will come in and say, hey, you're missing an opportunity here. You're not looking for the silver lining. So it does mean change and transformation, but it can also mean adventure. encouraging you to embrace these experiences, to get excited about these changes that are coming, because we do want to remember that our angels and our spiritual team are always going to guide us towards the path that is in our highest interest, but they're not going to tell us what to do. But they want us to feel inspired about the path we are on. And whenever something comes in front of us that's bringing big change, even if it feels like a challenge or it feels like a roadblock, they want us to see it as an adventure to overcome that challenge and embrace that change. It also means there's probably significant personal growth coming in for you and an expansion of your horizons. So a lot of the times that I will see 555 often or 55 often is when I have a big trip coming up that is going to bring new insights for me. I like watching that. I used to watch that series. It's over now, I think, but it's still playing on Netflix, called The Crown, about Queen Elizabeth II. And there's this one scene in there where she tells Margaret Thatcher, the prime minister at the time, that vacation is important because it gives you a change in perspective. And I believe she was telling Margaret Thatcher that she needed to take a break and take a vacation because she was working so hard. But that stuck with me. Vacation gives you a change in perspective. And maybe it's my Capricorn rising, but I tend to be the person that wants to get all my work done first before I relax. But I have now intentionally started building in big vacation blocks in my scheduling where I can maybe do a little work from where I am, but where obviously I have more time with my family, but where I can do that spiritual growth. I can go within and get really clear on what I want. Another thing that is coming up for 555 a lot is it might be something we need to let go of. Maybe we are holding on to old habits or old situations that are no longer serving us, and change is what is needed. We need to change that issue. Now, every time I share angel messages with you, whether it's other videos on my channel or even here in this series, I'm always going to ask you to think about these 3 areas in your life: your relationships, which this can be romantic, children, parent, anything, your health and fitness, and your career and finances, okay? And career and finances can translate to legacy if maybe you're retired and you feel set for life, but it can translate to what are you leaving, what do you want to leave behind as your legacy, your mark here that your soul came here to share with the world. So that might mean we have to let go of an old habit or routine or relationship so that we can put that energy into that. Another suggestion about 555 is maybe just another affirmation you're on the right path. Now, if you saw my 1111 video, which I also talk about the number 111, 111, that's a big one for me with alignment, because if you think about the ones all lined up in a row, I tend to communicate more with 1111 and 111 with my angels with alignment, but you try it out for you. That's another reason I'm going to share my perspectives here in a minute on this number, because I want you to begin practicing what is your spiritual team specifically saying to you about 555. I don't want you to just listen to every video out there on 555 and assume that that's the only meaning, because we do have to develop our own language with our guides, with our spiritual team, because we have our own purpose. We have our own way of communicating. We have our own way of receiving guidance. And so again, 555 may mean one thing to me and something else to you, but these are common ones we're going over, and then I'll go deeper into a lot of the one what's it's meant for me. So another one it's reminding you to do is to trust your intuition, trust your instincts, trust that inner wisdom. That's why I said earlier about maybe it's time for you to pause and do some self-discovery, gain a new perspective on something. And of course, it's also a sign of manifestation. Anytime we are getting a lot of repeating numbers, those are synchronicities. They are encouraging us to take advantage of manifestation energy. It's encouraging positive thoughts to attract what we desire. So again, if you see 555 and it is causing you to feel like, okay, there's changes coming, but you feel fear, then I'm going to encourage you to sit down and connect with your spiritual team, because your spiritual team does not want you to go into a place of worry or anxiety. Oh no, what is this change going to bring? oh no, what does this change mean for me? What does it mean for my family? This is a very natural human response or reaction. But actually, what we want to do is respond by connecting with our angels on a deeper level and saying, okay, how do I get excited about this change? This actually happens for me every year with when school starts again for my kids, because every year their schedule changes, their sports and activities change. Even if they're doing the same sport, the following year it's a different coach, it's a different schedule, right? And I always look at it as an opportunity to change my daily routine and the way I work to make it even better. And I look at it as an adventure to how can I make the most of it? I even have a funny story that my husband chuckles about, where when I was having to spend like 3 hours at a night waiting, 3 hours a week outside a dance studio waiting on my daughter quite often, I actually bought one of those portable desks that you can put on your steering wheel in your car off of Amazon that everybody makes fun of, because it's like, what, are you going to be driving down the highway typing? I sure hope not. But obviously I was parked in a safe location, engine off with my desk. But oh my goodness, the work I got done waiting outside the dance studio, that maybe if I was at home, I would have been distracted doing something else, watching TV, who knows? And so I saw that as an opportunity to really grow things. It helped me write curriculum for the angel classes I'm teaching. It helped me really get clear on what I want to work on. So that's one of the times that I would see 55 a lot. All throughout the day, I'd see 1055, 1155, 1255 all day long. I'd see it on license plates, and it would usually be the day that I had to go do the 3-hour drive. And I thought, oh, okay, how can I make the most of this energy? All right, so let's go deeper into some of the things that I personally feel when I see it. And I just shared a little bit of those stories, and I'll share more as they come up. But I first wanted to remind you that if you haven't already, you can sign up for my free newsletter at devondoer.com, and you will get my gift for you, my ebook, Is It a Sign? How to Recognize Signs and Discover Their Meaning. This gives you 5 questions to ask anytime you see a sign or you think you see a sign. And I actually encourage you to print out this one part of that ebook and put it in your journal. Now, you can use any journal you want. This is a custom journal I sell that has templates for tracking your intuition and tracking signs and symbols and really connecting with your angels. It comes with a 4-part webinar. That's on my website as well. But I wanted to first share the free newsletter with you, because then you'll stay up to date when I release more of these angel number videos. I also have weekly lives where I share angel messages. We do journaling together. I answer your questions, and I teach angel communication classes. And so you'll be notified when those are open, because they're only open for certain periods of time. So I encourage you to sign up for my free newsletter there at devondoer.com to get my gift to you. Thank you for your patience there. Now let's go into what the angels specifically mean for me often when I see 55 or 555, because like I said, all those meanings I just listed are very common meanings. If you go do your own research, you will see that most people agree that that's what 555 or 55 means for them. But for me, when I sit and connect, of course, I'm asking my team, okay, really, what do you want me to know every time I'm seeing 55 or 555? So they told me for 55, look for the subtle changes you could make in your thinking, projects, relationships, and daily life to bring in more abundance. Notice the key word there, subtle. Look for the subtle changes you could make in your thinking, projects, relationships, and daily life to bring in more abundance. And the reason I say that is because, again, I was first noticing 555 a lot several years ago, and I wasn't clear on what it meant. And I would occasionally feel fear. Like, oh goodness, what's going to happen? Is something going to happen to a family member? Is something going to happen to work? Are we going to have financial instability or security issues? Like, what is going on? And so they started talking to me in a more subtle way, and they reminded me that they're not going to communicate with me in a way that scares me, right? So this would be another way that they would remind me, is by putting the 55 after other numbers. Like I would see 4455, or I would see 755. And I would see it a lot in a very short period of time. That's why I created my intuition tracker. I actually have a digital version of this on my website as well if you're interested to see what it is, but I made it so that you can see everything all in one place easily. And I started filling up so many pages in one, day, 1 day to 2 day range of these numbers. And I was like, okay, we've got to get to the deeper meaning of this. And it was so helpful for me. So again, that example with just learning to use my kids' activities and their schedules as an opportunity to create for myself, that was really helpful for me too. And if you are somebody who's super busy doing things for others, one little advice I can give you that has helped me with moving forward with my own creative projects is every time I did something for my children, for a family member, for a colleague, I also attached it to doing something for me. Now, sometimes the thing I was doing for me was catching a yoga class, taking a hot bath, getting a power nap in, but a lot of times it was getting something done for my own creative work. So anytime I've had to do something for someone else, I was at least making at least probably 10 to 15 minutes of time for my own thing as well on the same day, like within a very short period of time. That way I felt like my cup was full before I moved on. So if you see these big changes coming in, that might be another tip to help you is, okay, I see these big changes are coming my way. How am I going to attach it to something that my heart wants so that it's a win-win? It's a giving and receiving cycle. All right. So then 555, when the angels send that to me, they actually are saying to me, big changes are coming your way. Open up to divine guidance and embrace change to be in divine flow. So this is very similar to some of the common meanings you heard me list earlier, but it's really more in my face than some of the other meanings. For me, it's saying, really trust divine flow. Yes, these big changes are coming. Yes, we're asking you to embrace it, but also it's really important that we allow it to happen in the time that it needs to happen, that we let it happen in flow. There may be other groups of people I'm meant to work with that I won't be able to work with until they're ready, until they step in to their divine flow. So let's move on now to our journaling prompt here for this specific number. And then, of course, I'm going to get to your pocket affirmation and to your bonus message here at the end. Okay, here is your journaling prompt for 555. Pardon that quick interruption there. My husband got a Vitamix and is very excited about it and didn't realize I was recording. So if you heard that earlier, I apologize. But it's nice and quiet now. So here is your journaling prompt for 555. What area of my life could benefit most from change right now? Now, remember at the beginning of this video, I said, think of these 3 areas: relationships, finances, and health. What area of my life could benefit most from change right now? Then a follow-up journaling prompt: how can I embrace positive change in these areas? Okay, so again, we are looking to see where we need change or we're being guided to make change, but we want to embrace it in a positive way. So I use the Monday example of a daily schedule, but for some of us, these may be bigger changes. We know we need a change in a major relationship in our life. Maybe it means looking for some outside advice, some professional advice. Maybe we do need to change with our finances. It means looking at our budget and seeking professional advice there. But you'll know where these areas are because you'll feel stuck there. You won't feel as excited. And then when you realize what you can do to change it, it will begin to unveil your divine path there. So it can be really, really helpful to look at it from that perspective. So that was your journaling prompt. You can use it every time you see 555 or 55 with other numbers. Like I said, every one of these videos has a journaling prompt that I would encourage you to add to these numbers to help you go deeper. And that's what the angels are asking us to do, is go deeper. Now, here is your pocket affirmation for anytime you see 555. If you would please write it in the comments below this video so I know you made it to the end. It really helps me know what's valuable to you, and it will help you acknowledge that your spiritual team is sending you messages whenever you say this. So write this in the comments below this video. I easily embrace divinely guided change. I easily embrace divinely guided change. Okay, so this is not a disruptive change that is feeling out of fear. This is divinely guided. And when the angels work with us, they work with us in a subtle way to get our attention to make those changes. All right. Thank you for your patience with all of those quick little pocket affirmations and messages there. And you've gotten this far, so you're ready for your bonus message. This is a message for anybody who gets to the end of this video, and it is meant for you. Don't forget, I am going to be having more videos coming up on this, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and get notified when they come up. Your bonus message is: it's time to protect a creative project, relationship, or heart's wish. Remain steadfast and have courage to go for what you really want. All right, what was the first thing that came to mind for you with that? It's time to protect a creative project, relationship, or heart's wish. Remain steadfast and have courage to go for what your heart really wants. Thank you for watching, and remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.